finally uncovered the last of the arcane codices, only to lose it to some thief. Tile Regor must be livid, which means this Maru is in real trouble. I need to have a word with her before the Grenier do.
Alright, now, or to speak something. So what's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here in Warframe, and we are going to take on the Stolen Dreams, the new quest. This is the edited version. Basically, we're going to cut this down, talk to you through it, we go through it. There's actually 5 missions to it. It's going to take you a little while to get through. It took me a little over an hour to actually get through this whole thing. So, mission number 1, you got to find Maru. It's a capture mission, low level, 7 to 10 corpus, as you can see. Take whatever you want to take with you. Nothing too complicated here. As we progress through, the enemy levels get tougher and the challenges get a bit tougher, and we'll see that as we go through this video here. Now it's going to be about 30 minutes, but if you stick with me through it, you'll see everything you need to see on the new spy missions and stuff, and you'll get an idea of what the quest is all about. Alright, so we're just going to pick her up in this. And now we got her. And that's all you need to do in the first mission of this quest. And then you just got to get out, actually.
Oh, so you tin suits who want to know about that arcane codex? Is that all? Okay, here goes. Tile Regor offered up big-time credits for me to pull the code from some strange machine on an infested Orican derelict. Thing is, I never much liked the Grenier, so the code I pulled ain't the code I gave them. I guess they finally figured that out. I bet you're looking to get your hands on the code. Too bad. I already sold them to the Corpus. Now, if you were to make it worth my while, maybe I'll tell you where they're keeping it.
Alright, so after you come out of that first mission, that comes up for you. Now, I found that it was kind of bugged for me, so I had to keep logging in and out between the missions. So now we're going to take on the Arcane Codex mission, the first one, against this spy, the Corpus, 12 to 14. Basically, I'm just going to cut through to the actual spy rooms themselves here on each of these subsequent missions. These are obviously the first times I'm running all of them in this video, so I promise you I will fail once or twice. So not knowing what to come up against, I'm just going to go right on in, and I go right through the lasers. Gotta hit the console, so I'll just use one of my ciphers real quick, because you can see the timer. You only got 30 seconds to get in, otherwise you lose it. Okay. And that's the first one done, and then and I went ahead and I took a look around in here just to see. So I mean, you can go straight through it, or you can see there are other ways to get in and out and around. So it's not always about having to use Loki. I just took Loki with me because it was the quickest, because I didn't know what to expect otherwise. But it's going to be similar to the rescue missions, where it doesn't matter what happens before the room, but it does matter what happens in the room. Okay, so yeah, what happens in the room stays in the room. No, yeah, so similar to the rescue missions, basically. As you can see, I'm just running through it here, and we'll go into the next one, and so forth and so on. You're going to go through them. There's different challenges in each and every single one, as we've talked about in the past in that preview video I did. And each challenge a little bit different. Once you're in these rooms, it doesn't really matter what frame you're using. You're going to have to do things like this, where you're parkouring against a wall. You're wall running, basically. There's hidden entranceways from the sides and stuff to get into. So we'll just kind of go through them all here. That's actually a wall there, so not much you can do now. And here you can see I can't go straight through. without hitting these. So I got to take my time, either jump over or walk under, and then come around to the setup, and then we'll get the second codex. Now on this first mission, you get all three, and it's 12 to 14. It's nothing really too complicated, to be honest, to get through to them.
Hey, surprisingly impressive. You found the codex, and the corpus are none the wiser.
Okay, as you can see, there's other ways to get around. I just, the first mission you could do whatever you want to do. The second mission and on, I took Loki because I wasn't sure what to expect, you know. You are going to battle through to get through these. I mean, they're not extremely high level. This is the third one here.
The data vault is nearby.
Um,
Do your best and try not to trip your line.
but you got to deal with, you know, the Corpus and the Grenier and the Infested, and we'll see it through these various missions to get through this full quest. At the end of the quest, you will receive a Ether Dagger blueprint, and you will receive a Oricane Catalyst blueprint. Those are the rewards for this quest. This is my first video in 15-13, by the way. And this one, of course, took a while to put together, but we will have more coming out. There's plenty of ways around. There's actually, you could go up above as well. And we'll see that later on in a future one of these, since you got to do these so many times. We'll grab the last data.
Quick, look, there's the codex. There might be hope for you after all.
And then we get out of here.
Explored all the vaults and found that arcane codex. Your Lotus told me to tell you to get to extraction.
That's exactly what we do. We get ourselves out, and then we move on to the next mission, basically. So let's just get out of here.
Nobody has ever examined them all together. That's our plan.
So we're trying to find them all. Now we're on the next mission, this second arcane one, where you get the Grenier arcane codices. Ortis is speaking, whatever the hell it is.
Either way, it's right up my alley.
And she's talking to him, but since I have him muted, it is what it is. Okay, so now this one gets slightly harder, higher level. Of course, we've got Grenier.
Maru tells me that the Grenier
We've got 3 new challenges to basically go through in here.
You need to find both to complete this mission.
And as you can see on the top left of the screen, and I'm using the Orthos because they did some changes to the Orthos in update 15.13. And if you haven't checked out the patch notes, I got them on my Everything Warframe page. Link in the description, of course. All the patch notes. Whoops. But now the Grenier one's a little more challenging.
The Grenier claim the arcane codices will help them to a cure for cloning decay syndrome. I think that might be wishful thinking.
And so this gets fun. Again, these are the first time I'm doing them, so I didn't know what I was expecting, and yeah, I get a little lost. I believe in this first one I actually get a little lost.
The target console is nearby. If you
It's either the first or the second, we'll see here in a minute.
the enemy will start destroying data.
I really hate these things. I didn't feel like wasting a cipher on those. Don't ask, I don't know. When I'm in the mood to use the ciphers, I do. When I'm not, I look like a total idiot doing it. Okay, so this one I get lost in because, of course, you know, don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm lucky to have been invisible because of the sensor regulators. So make sure you pack also your stuff for the codex, because you're going to be able to scan them, which I didn't do in this. I do it later on, though. So here's the exit door out of that room. So now you got to find one thing to hack. And like I said, I had to keep logging in and out in between missions, actually logging in and out of the game to set the next mission, next portion of the mission available. That's just a bug at the time of doing this. Alright, so now I got those two. As well, as you'll see in the patch notes, when you're doing syndicate missions now, you're actually going to have helpers with you on the syndicates. So, the problem is, as it currently stands, you're going to have helpers with you on the syndicates. And you cannot do a spy mission with the syndicates right now, as a result of the helpers, because the helpers won't go stealth. They're going to use their special weapon that is part of each syndicate, and so there is no stealth play in there. So right now that's technically bugged in terms of stealth spy point 2.0 here in the syndicate alert runs, if you will. But that says of me doing this video. Of course, there'll be patches that come out. It's already been posted by myself and several people on the forums. Alright, so we get the first one. As you can see, each room is different. Here's that quick exit out. And then we show up at the next one. And again, in between, I got a lot of running through. I found the Grenier to be a little bit more heavier in terms of enemies to kill, of course, than the prior ones. But as you go through, you're scaling up the enemy levels and whatnot, so it's going to be more difficult. So take a quick look around. Just take your time in here. I don't want to rush through. You just screw something up like I did a couple times, like I said, and you'll see it. I'm not going to hide it. We already saw me screw up one time. Again, I wasn't sure what the hell I was doing, so I just kind of pushed through it, and then I realized, okay, I can't go through that. So I got to wait. Almost got caught there. Doing fine. Move forward, no problem. Trying to figure out what to do, and screwed myself up right there. So I thought, no, I can't go through there. I have to jump around. As you can see, my timer's already going down. I'm going the wrong way. I'm screwing myself over here. Get down the conveyor belts. Just get down. You can't touch any of those lasers. You get down here. I got in a corner. Basically screwed myself over on this data terminal. Alright, so you got to take this guy out, because I don't know where the hell I'm going. Got to unlock another door. Use a cipher, but it's too late. 30 seconds is up.
It's too late. We've lost this data. You will need to be more careful with the next vault.
Right, which means now this third vault I have to pass. Otherwise I fail the mission and have to do it over again. Okay, so this one, of course, I go in. Now I gotta figure out how to get down there. As you can see, we have those regulators back again. So I'll just take him out. This is the point when I realized I had to scan it, and I just killed it instead of scanning it. So on the second one, I decided to give it a second, and I'll scan the second one. And of course, obviously, I'll have to check the codex and see how many scans it requires to complete it on the codex. But since I'm carrying Helios, I'm good there. Okay, so now we can go through. Just taking our time. That's all we got to do in these little rooms, is take our time. You rush, you fail. You don't have to use Logi. You just gotta be mindful of the whole environment. You don't have to use Ash. You can pretty much use any frame, because it's only once you're in these rooms that what happens makes a difference. Alright, so the elevator came up, so now we're just going to come back all the way to the front. Grab the elevator and go down. Through the door. Watch your step. We'll grab the data.
Data extracted. They won't think that it's gone. You've got the codices and there's nothing more.
Now, as you can see here,
Get to extraction.
other than it being really cool looking, this is another way I could have come instead of taking the elevator. I discovered it afterwards, of course. But now I know for next time, whoops. I know for next time that instead of going back on the elevator, I could go down that little latch and come up the other end. So that finishes that one. So then we go into another one. This is number 4. Against the Corpus again. The Arcane Codices again. Getting tougher this time around. Each and every time it gets tougher and tougher. But you gotta collect.
We've tracked down the remaining arcane codices to this Corpus facility.
And as you can see, this time around, I cannot fail at all. Okay, it says it requires 3 extractions, 3 complete extractions. So no matter what I do, I must pass in this 4th portion of this mission.
Now, and they will start destroying the data.
So I found this one a little more difficult, of course, you know, higher level Corpus. This stuff is more challenging. You don't want them to see you, so you got to be careful. So you're gonna want to take some kind of silent weapons with you as well. Definitely silent weapons, bows. I will say it as haiku. You know, anything that's a silent weapon, or even if you put the suppressed mods on to make them a silent weapon, you're gonna take those with you. Right, so as you can see, I screwed up. I thought I had time right, and I didn't. I had it wrong, and I screwed up again just going through, because at this point what I needed to do was get in that friggin' door. So again, I should kind of grab a cipher to get in there quick. I don't have time to mess around. I'm gonna run around, hit the button again with just 5 seconds left.
Data integrity verified. Retrieval was successful.
So now you know not to screw yourself up on these. Let me back up, and that way I can take these guys out. Alright. Move on to the second room.
The target console is
Each room, as you can see, is different.
now. The enemy will start destroying data.
So they put a lot of these rooms in. There's some variety of, I mean, some of the, obviously the things you're going to see in terms of lasers and stuff are the same, but the layouts are slightly different. And how you enter and whatnot. So
The enemy has installed new security measures.
just looking around to see what my options are. No room there, so we'll wall run it again like we did earlier. This one's a bit different because that doesn't come down low enough for me to slide through. So then I came over here just to check out this way, thinking, and realistically all this is behind a wall. So there's nothing here. So don't bother even coming out this way. As you can see, nothing. Nothing at all. Alright, so then I knew I couldn't go through, so I said let's go up. Because there is a ledge up there, so we'll just jump up to the ledge. And we'll shoot through. Now you could take your chances and wall run right there, but I'm not going to take my chance. But you could have taken your chance and wall run and come out. But the problem with that one is you got to get between the 2 lasers that are up there without getting noticed. Alright, and so we're in. I'm going to grab it. And that's number 2 out of 3. And we'll slowly make our way out, and then we'll head over to the 3rd one. As you can see, you just...
You're nearing the console. Trigger the alarms now, and they will start destroying the data.
3rd and final one in here. Again, first time through. Whoa, almost fell there. Alright, I was going to do this up top, but that's not going to work out well for me. Based off of how I came in the entrance. Now, if you had gone the other way, then you could walk across. But in this instance, I didn't, so I'm going to come down and unlock the door from below. And now I'm below all the lasers. Alright, and we'll do the same thing. We'll unlock it again. If you manage to stay up top, if you had come in the other way and you stayed up top, you could walk into the room without unlocking the door. You just got to watch the cameras that are up here. Cypher. And we got all 3. Now the 4th run, the 4th parts of the mission is now over.
You may extract now.
So we get our butts out of here. Then we go to number 5. Number 5 is accessing the arcane machine. This is an interesting one, how it plays out. So you're going over basically to Phobos, as we are doing.
Maru is the only person who has been on the inside of that derelict and lived to tell about it. She'll guide you through this mission.
This is it. Your Lotus has promised me a cut of whatever treasure you find, so don't you tin suits go messing this one up. Get to the void portal.
I said if there is any treasure.
Oh, come on. The Oregon were all about treasure, weren't they? The only question is, how much?
It's like watching Rebecca and Megan argue with each other.
I've been trying to get inside this derelict for days, but the infested keep tearing them to shreds. Your Lotus seems to think you'll do better. We'll see.
So as you can see, the first part of this, we have to deal with the infested. What's really interesting about this is how, and we're going to skip through pretty quickly, how you're dealing with the infested in here, and then it becomes like a sabotage mission. New lighting. Everything changes now with the lighting structures. So as we get here, as you can see, it becomes a sabotage mission where you're basically kind of like backwards, actually. You're already in it, and then you're getting out of it. So it's actually backwards here. So now you're in the void, or the derelict, if you will. And this is an interesting part, so that's why I left this whole part here. This is the key part to the whole thing. So killer enemies get here, get around. They're looking for the machine now. So when we get to the machine here in just a moment, I gotta kill things. So this is what you deal with all the time, by the way, is just killing, killing, killing. So just be careful.
There it is. The machine I pulled the final arcane codex from. You've got the full set of codices. Upload them and say hello to treasure.
Be silent. Hushed, hushed, and empty. It is the womb of the sky. Be silent and calm. Hushed and empty is the womb of the sky.
What just happened?
The machine. It's gone. Tenno, watch out.
Okay, so that was interesting, right? So that's basically what happens in this room, in this area. You go and you get the machine, and now the machine is gone. But that was a pretty crazy message, so don't know what that leads up to from this point on. I have to check the codex or whatever. So basically,
Tenno, I don't know if we got the answers we came for, but there's nothing more for us here. Exit the derelict and head for extraction.
that's what we do.
What? Where's my damn treasure? I was told there would be treasure.
Is we get out.
It wasn't here for our benefit or yours. Only time will tell what we've just uncovered.
Now, on our way out, we start getting shot at by the Greniers. So now the Grenier have figured out how to get through the portal, which they couldn't do a little while ago. And so now we've got to deal with the Grenier just for a few seconds, not too many of them. And then it's back to the Infested. And then we get ourselves out here at the end of the mission completion. Like I said, it took about an hour or so. I had to reset every time in between missions, and that's just a bug. But that's it. This is what happens. Ether Dagger blueprint, or Catalyst blueprint, and you're done. It's fun. It is definitely a fun mission. It's definitely a fun quest. Pretty enjoyable. Easy enough to play solo for most. After Mastery Rank 3, though, is the only time you'll get this. So, then Ortis and Maru go back and forth here for a minute, and the mission completion ends.
Ordo, there was nothing.
Alright, comments, questions below. I'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Nah, I'm used to it. When you don't run with any of the major factions or syndicates, the big paydays are few and far between. I'll manage. Listen, I can't say it hasn't been fun, but with the arcane codices gone, I think it's safe for me to venture back out into the wild. See ya, tin suits.
And that's all she wrote for the mission. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching as always. We'll see you soon.